Welcome to Alaska. Today we're going to go on a camping trip to a location that's second to none. We'll be traveling by Argo, and Argo is an 8-wheeled amphibious machine, and this machine has tracks on it, so it can go just about anywhere. We plan to camp next to a bay that's filled with ice from a nearby glacier. An Argo is a skid steer machine. What that means is when you turn the steering wheel, one side slows down while the other side continues at full speed, and this turns the machine. Fully swimming, but not at a quick pace. Here's the first look at our destination. The brisk wind off the icy water was cold, but you couldn't ask for a more picturesque place to camp. I brought 2 beef tenderloins along to make for dinner, and they probably turned out to be the best steak I've had in years, so let me share how I prepared it. First, I seared both sides in butter, and then I'd take them off and let them cool down a little bit and put them back on. Then I added some garlic paste and a little more butter and stir that around to kind of make a slurry. Slurry is a really fancy cooking word that just isn't utilized much in cooking shows. I had initially pumped my gas stove up so that I could get a good sear on them, and then as the pressure in the gas stove went down, it became kind of a cool fire, which allowed the steak to cook slowly. Then I added both steaks back into the garlic slurry and let them slowly cook over the cool heat. While they're cooking, we'll take a little look around. Then I took both the steaks out and added rosemary and more butter and stirred that around into a slurry. And added the steaks back into it and let them cook in that. Now these steaks might look a little burned on the outside, but don't be fooled. That's like a crust on the outside of it. When we cut into it, I think you're going to find that it's not as done as it looks on the outside. Now that the steaks are done, I took them out and let them rest while I prepared the rest of the meal. I pumped the gas up so the flame would get hot and fried a little asparagus up in butter. I actually prefer my steak to be a little more rare than this turned out on the inside, but trust me, it was absolutely amazing. With the clouds moving in and out so rapidly, the sunset was surreal. Breakfast was simple: oatmeal, dried cherries, and walnuts. One last look around before we pack up camp and hit the trail. After breakfast and a final look around, it was time to get moving. This is the same river crossing as the last clip, but from a different angle. Too frequently, I'm in such a hurry to get from one place to another that I fail to stop and take in the natural beauty that's all around. A cup of trail coffee offers a good reason to stop and enjoy your surroundings. This clip is a little long because the Argo is swimming, so it's not traveling nearly as fast, nor do you have the same control over your direction of travel. Once you finally find traction on the bottom, it's quick to adjust, and frequently then over-adjust your steering. That horribly obnoxious squealing is the sound a bearing makes just before it implodes. An Argo has 2 bearings per tire, and so if one goes out, you can generally make it back to the trailhead so that you can go home to fix it. This being said, we did make it out safely, and it took probably 4 hours to change that bearing. Thanks for coming along today.